What's going on, guys? Philip at Trade Genius. Today we're going to talk about this chart here and what that means. We're also going to take a look at our stock market because we are still tied to this stock market as far as crypto and Bitcoin goes. Take a look at the Delta chart, a little bit of rollover there. Again, looking at our correlation, still very much tied to the stock market. So we'll talk about this. We'll look at some virus data too, see if we're making any progress on that. All right, guys, let's dive into this video.
Trade Genius.
So, guys, I know I've mentioned that we're running the special, right, $2.99, and this includes the ribbon indicator. I'm also going to throw in this buy indicator. It's a buy only one that I'm throwing in, but all you do is you just look for a trend and look for stuff that's going up in an uptrend. You can use this on Forex. Today in the room, we took a binary call on this signal here on the pound dollar, and easy trade. There was, no heat against us or anything like that. It was just get in, and it was a small hold. I think we held that for 2 or 3 hours, and most probably got somewhere between 25 and 30% on every $100 per contract on that. So that's the nice thing about binary options. Good return on your money there when you get these setups. So it's really, very simple indicator. You don't have to get overly technical on it. And so anyway, check that out. $2.99 special over at Trade Genius. Also, we have a VIP room. Bob and I bark out what we're seeing in the markets during the day, during the regular trading hours. So we also have that as well if you're interested in that. So head on over, check it out, talk to Matt, and he'll hook you up with the best solution for you. All right, let's dive into this chart. Relief rally 2, right? We're going up into this, very similar to 08. We've been having trouble now. We got up to the 50% retracement, poked above it. Looked like they wanted to run up to the 618, 2934, 49 on the SPX, but they didn't quite get there. And what we're doing right now is we're in this area here. There's basically this range, and I'll draw it out here. And so what I'm looking for clues as to where we're going to go in the market, we've got that level there, and then I'm going to draw one more level at the top of this range here. Okay, so any move outside of these levels is what I'm going to be looking for to give us some sort of clue on where this is going to go. So basically north of 2850, or do we go south of 2760 over here? Okay, and that's also going to dictate basically Bitcoin's maneuvering. As you see, we came all the way down to the 2760 and we bounced back up during the regular trading hours. But again, you have to look at what's going on after hours with Globex, and currently it's down from where we closed today. So we need to see if these levels, if we lose this 2760 overnight, we could start rolling over and possibly seeing this wave 3. I know that's going to be counterintuitive for Bitcoin because obviously we're heading much closer to the halving now, and that brings us to the chart that I showed you in the beginning. This is another indication. Yesterday I showed you the whales were buying up and accumulating, and very much a pre-cyclical move that we've seen in the past. We're seeing it again. Here's another indication. You'll notice tethers are moving up. Now when we dumped into the bear market, you'll notice tethers actually dropped. The market cap for stable coins dropped, and there's Gemini coin and things like that. But the easiest thing to chart in TradingView is the USDT cap. You can chart that in TradingView. Otherwise, you have to kind of go outside of TradingView. There's some sites that will plug into a TradingView's API for charting, but inside TradingView itself, USDT is the cap that you can chart. But they more or less, all of the stablecoin caps look like this. And so you'll notice in the bear market, all the cap dropped before the big drop. And then as the cap started to build up, you saw price catch up to it. So it's interesting that we've had this somewhat prolonged divergence away from increased cap going into the cryptocurrency space, and you see those larger whale wallets starting to accumulate too. So at some point, this price is going to start catching up to what we're seeing behind the scenes. Nice thing about blockchain is you can see the transparency on things like stable coins and the movements of them. So guys, I know this is bearish. I know the coronavirus environment we're in is bearish. I know the stock market is weighing down on Bitcoin, but those correlations are temporary. We see them periodically, but right now with this environment, due to the exposure that some of the larger money has to it, you're just going to see this until we just see a break. Now, can we see that as we approach halving now, which is about roughly a month away? Yeah, we definitely could, but I'm going to let price and time dictate that and show me the way. I'm not going to, impossible to say right now because we're just in uncharted territories with this COVID thing. All right. So Just bear this in mind that the internals are looking really good for this to finally start to move back up. Now our Delta chart, obviously when we dip back below zero, obviously not bullish. We're still in our short condition here. So again, remember we said we were looking for this area here when it's in the short condition to go ahead and when you get the moves to the moving averages, you fade them. Now, because of the market move in the stock index, right, the S&P 500, and I haven't seen any weakness on the ribbon yet, which this indicator you can get when you sign up. But it's kind of like this area of indecision, or the market's trying to figure out what it is. And so again, this range is going to dictate. I think the break of this range is really going to dictate where we go. Do we eke out one more push up, or do we roll over? So right now, as you can see, as I showed you with that other chart, very sympathetic to the market right now. The overnight is pushing down, and we're seeing it with Bitcoin. So this is a critical level actually for the markets to hold here. This 50, with the S&P 500, this low 50 area overnight we need to hold. So if you want to chart that, you just look up SPX USD 500 or SPX 500 USD on the charts, and you can follow along on that overnight and watch that level. But it's going to be critical again with Bitcoin. Bitcoin tends to move a little bit more, so if we're down, it'll overthrow to the downside. I do expect Bitcoin to kick back up here a little bit, but it's really a do or die range right now for everything. So close eye on that. Back to the Delta again, we would be looking for essentially a fade back up to this level here, which currently is 6,800. So if we move back up, that's going to be a point of resistance. And if it punches through that and the Delta is not responding, you're then going to reshort again the WMA 65 currently up there at 6,900. So I do expect we'll see probably a move back up, but just keep in mind that you're going to be swimming up trend on that bounce up. So we'd be looking to get more defensive as we bounce back up there. If the market rockets right back up, this is all going to turn and flip up, probably most likely to follow along with the market. And then we'll get a condition like this over here, and this thing will turn blue. And then we can start talking about maybe pushing up. But if the market generally rolls over, this bear market rally is over, forget all that upside stuff. You've seen the local top here. All right, as far as the virus goes, yesterday we cracked over 2,000 pretty good. We were under 2,000, we cracked back over it. So when it comes to new cases, yes, we're starting to see a little bit of a flattening there, but the death count is starting to jump up, which is a little concerning. And now today, the day hasn't rolled over. I don't think they've rolled the data over yet. They will here in a little bit, but we pushed up in the case count a little higher. So you'll notice when you're looking at whether or not you're growing by a factor of 1, which equates to exponential growth, sometimes you will have a couple days where it will actually have a declining amount of cases in the prior day. So if you're growing by a factor of 1, then you're matching the previous day's totals or growing more. So we have seen an uptick today, and we'll see what this final tally is, but not the flattening that we were hoping for. So this is kind of day by day, week by week. So we have to watch the death count kicking up. Though is a little disappointing to see. And again, thoughts go out to all you guys that are dealing with that personally. Really feel for you guys. It's a really bad virus for those that do get it. And so stay safe out there. But anyway, that's it for this video. Again, just wanted to point out the internals, like the market cap is still looking really strong. Obviously, the bigger players are accumulating Bitcoin down here. So I do think ultimately we do hold up here. I don't see anything catastrophic like crashing down to 1,200 or anything ridiculous like that. But understand that we may not see a move up that we were expecting like we've traditionally seen going into the halving because of this outside circumstance of the virus and all that stuff. So just bear that in mind when we're dealing with this. All right. Okay, guys, thanks for watching. Please hit like and subscribe. Really helps out the channel. I'll see you on the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.
Trade Genius.